Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
Out to Carlisle. He's going to launch a three, and it's good. And it counts. And that gets him to 100. Stanford 100, Arizona 82.
And it is redemption night in Tucson, Arizona, if that's what you want to frame it as. The Wildcats are back at McHale Center for the first time since, December the 9th? So almost a month ago. It's kind of like the football season where we went an entire month between home games. They played the game against UTEP at the end of September and then went on the road for 3 weeks and had a bye and didn't come back until the Oregon State game right before Halloween. Kind of feels like that. The Wildcats have been on the road traveling show to Indianapolis to play Purdue, which ended up in a loss. Now, they did come back home. They came back home, obviously, in between a lot of these events, but they did not play at home. Then bust up to Phoenix for the game at the Colangelo Hall of Fame series, which they were able to knock off the Alabama Crimson Tide and got back on the plane and went to Las Vegas to take on Florida Atlantic, which resulted in a loss, came home, and then got back on the plane and went to the Bay Area, beat up on the California Golden Bears, and then lost dramatically, as you heard in that highlight at the top, to the Stanford Cardinal last Sunday. So the Wildcats, since the last time they played at home, are a 2-3 basketball team. They have gone from number 1 in the country to number 10 in the country. And they will face a Colorado Buffaloes team tonight at McHale Center that comes in having won 6 games in a row and stands at 11-2 on the season, having won their first 2 games in the Pac-12 conference, sweeping the Washington Schools in Boulder last weekend.
You know where all those games were?
Most of them, I would imagine, were probably at home.
The opposite. 4 consecutive home games is what Colorado's coming off of. They played Northern Colorado, Utah Tech, and the Washington Schools, all in Boulder. So Arizona hasn't played since December 9th in McHale, and Colorado hasn't been away from Boulder in the last 4 games.
So they will head out onto the road. I believe this is the beginning of a road trip for them, a multiple game road trip for both of the Rocky Mountain schools, as we like to categorize them, the Utah Utes and the Colorado Buffaloes. It is a shortened down version of DK on the Sports Tip today. That's because we've got basketball pregame for you. Countdown to tip-off starts at 3:30. We figured we'd just come on the air at 3 o'clock. Why not? We normally do anyway. It's kind of the listening habit, so we'll extend our programming for a half hour and take you down to countdown to tip-off at 3:30, and then we'll have you from 3:30 to 6:30 talking Arizona basketball, and then the network takes over at 6:30. Tip-off tonight at McHale Center is 7:30, and it is national television. So this redemption game, if that is how you would like to term it, is nationally televised tonight on the 4-letter network, ESPN. The network that once again found a way to upset the Arizona fan base this week when they put out a list of the top, I believe it was the top 100 returning college football players for next season. and they found a way to leave off the name of a young man that goes by Tetero McMillan. How they left that guy off the list of the top 100 returning college football players next season, I'm not real sure how that happens. But again, who puts out these lists, and why do we really pay attention to them anyway? It's like that. There's that one Twitter account that's always putting out lists. I think it's called like Big Boomer or something. And everybody gets all upset every time this Twitter account puts out a new list. And my question is, it's like TV. Well, if you don't like it, why do you keep watching it?
Because people are addicted to being angry at stuff. DK, that's why.
Apparently. I mean, if you don't like the list that Big Boomer is putting out, don't pay any attention. I literally the first few lists that they put out. I think they went into business last year or the year before last. And the first few lists they put out made no sense to me. I'm like, what? Like, what is this? Like, huh? And so, after the third one didn't make sense to me, I just stopped looking at them. But apparently, there's a large faction of the fan base that continues to follow that Twitter account and comment on their ridiculous lists that they put out. Stop looking at them. It's easy. Just stop.
It was late 90s, early 2000s when a certain company out of Bristol, Connecticut figured out that if you put Tim Tebow and LeBron James's name in a headline together, that you would get a lot of angry people and you would get a lot of angry clicks. And that transformed the modern Internet 2.0, DK, into what we're looking at now, which is a lot of those lists are made legitimately just to get as many people angry as possible. They're not meant to be rational. They're meant to have a polarizing effect, and that's where you get, interaction with it. And I think a lot of people enjoy that. They enjoy the idea of feeling slighted. Their team, their guy, T-Mac should have been the 29th best returning player in college football. How come he's not even in the top 100? I'm so angry about that. That's why a lot of those lists are made, is just to get people a little pissed off.
So I don't allow myself to be party to those types of things, and neither should you. All right, you've got a short portion to get in on this part of the show if you'd like to. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Again, DK on the Sports Tip. We're taking you till 3:30 with this show, and then we will transition to the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. You can also call in to that show and discuss Arizona basketball for this 22 minutes and 10 seconds that's remaining. We can talk about whatever you would like to talk about. If you would like to discuss the Phoenix Suns, who, again, they got back to playing real teams last night, at least a real team in the Los Angeles Clippers, and they lost 131 to 122. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard combined to score 63 points in that ball game last night at the Footprint Center. I didn't even see what did James score? What did you call him yesterday?
Fat Boy Slim.
Yeah, Fat Boy Slim.
He comes in a little heavy and then he works himself into shape. He's actually in shape now. He had 22 points and 11 assists. That's a very typical mid 30. What is he now?
Yeah.
Like 36, 37 got to be.
I guess we could do a really quick
34. He's 34.
We could do a really quick question of the day if we wanted to. I didn't put one out, but is the Clippers' big three better than the Suns' big three?
The problem is you're looking at Kawhi Leonard, who is probably the best player in all of basketball, but he hasn't played a full season in 6 years. And most of those seasons have been 25, 30 games, if any at all.
Yeah.
You saw what he did in that run, the finals and the championship in Toronto. When Kawhi Leonard is healthy, it's hard to argue he's not the most efficient, dominant player. He's not the defender he was in his Spurs days, but he's still got those giant mitts. And, yeah, I mean, I think Kawhi, and quietly, I don't know the exact totals, but quietly Kawhi Leonard has played a ton of games this year, very atypical for his normal. Let's see, he has played in 29 games this year for the Clippers.
Wow.
So 29 games, and they are 21-12, and that means, what has he missed? 3 games. 3 out of 32 games he's missed. I'm sorry, 4 out of 33 games on the season has Kawhi Leonard missed. So he is rounding up into shape. Obviously, Commissioner Silver had that new rule where you can't sit. I believe it was the Knicks, I just read, got the first fine of $100,000 for sitting star players. I believe it was the Knicks. I have to check on that. But yeah, Kawhi Leonard is that guy and always has been. And he's played, 95% of the Clippers games this year. They brought in Harden late, but the other guy we haven't talked about is Russ, is playing some very inspired defense this year. He's among the top efficient defenders at the guard position in the NBA, even at his advanced age. So, yeah, I mean, those are all one-on-one ISO guys when you talk about Kawhi, Paul George, and Harden. And so if any of them or two of them are going off, it's the same thing with the Suns. If you get all those three guys healthy, Beal, Booker, and KD are a nightmare to match up with. The Clippers have that same kind of thing going on over there, and they're all healthy right now. So, scary team.
So we can talk about that a little bit as well in the next half of this half-hour show that we have going on today. DK on the Sports Tip. Who's got the better big three? Is it the Clippers or is it the Suns? 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Jedd Fisch, speaking of going national, went national today. He was on the Jim Rome show here on the Wildcats 1290 channel. And if you didn't hear that, we'll play you a little bit of that coming up here after the break. He somewhat maybe broke some news today, and we'll let you hear exactly what Jedd Fisch had to say with Jim Rome. We are joined by the third member of our program. No, that she's not an empty seat there. There she is. Cricket joins us for this shortened version of DK on the Sports Tip. Hello, Cricket.
It's the mini version of the show.
It's the mini version of the show. Cricket, are you into competition reality TV? And when I say competition, I mean like Survivor, Big Brother, those types where there's actual like competition.
Like activities.
Activities.
I kind of grew out of that.
Okay.
Maybe the novelty was over after the first few years.
Did you ever try out for one?
No.
I tried out for Big Brother.
Shannon did too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she get to like what they termed the semifinal round? I got to go to Pittsburgh on my own dime, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Isn't that sad? Yeah.
They're like, hey, you're in the semifinals. All you got to do is drive to Pittsburgh. I lived in Cleveland at the time, so it wasn't that far. So I was like, yeah, I'll drive an hour and a half to try to be on a reality TV show. And so I haven't really watched Big Brother a lot. I mean, I watched it religiously for like probably the first, 7 or 8 years that it was on. But now I just kind of, maybe if I'm home and it's on, because my wife kind of watches she's a big Brother fan.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you saw they had the Christmas one this year.
I did not watch this year.
It was called Reindeer Games.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I could see you be on that show. You seem very competitive.
Yeah, but the funny thing about those shows, and I was talking about this with my wife, is who comes up with those concepts for these competitions?
They're ridiculous.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like she asked me, what do you think those producers make on those shows? I was like, they got to make good six figures, because I don't know anybody that I could never sit down and come up with anything that intelligent that they come up with. Like, just like there was this one challenge they had where they had to bungee jump and knock over this one sign that was made of all these like 100 blocks, right? They had to bungee jump and knock that sign. Actually, they knocked 3 signs over to get all the square pieces on the ground. Then you had to go through and find the ones that were double-sided to make another sign.
Those
like,
are
who comes up with that?
Probably interns, stuff that they make interns do over there.
I mean, I want to know those people. I want to know those people who say, "Hey, and what is that? What is the conversation in that room?"
Right, like in the conference room, the big boardroom,
we
at
sit
Big
down
Brother.
and say, "Okay,
I got this idea. It's going to involve a bungee jump, Giant
think
puzzle
it's
pieces.
very simple. I think you're looking at a room that's like 20 by 20 feet, and it's got a bunch of Post-it notes, and they all say things like trampoline and
Yes,
bungee cord.
right,
and
like
once
that.
you do it, you pull it off the wall. You throw darts at 3 of them, and then that's your competition, and then they come off the wall, and you got to throw darts. So okay, bungee jumps off of there. Next one's got to be a trampoline. I think it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
And probably a bunch of different people. Like one person pick, like with a dart, like you said, like it's just.
I just mean the repeatability of is what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to avoid samesies. They're trying to have something new and fresh, and it's hard to be new and fresh for 19. When was Real World 1? Like, what was that?
Oh, Real World?
Yeah, late 90s.
Oh, my God. That was early 90s.
Yeah, so 25 early, was it? Okay,
Yeah,
so
mid-
30
mid-
years.
mid to early, like
so
92,
30 years of
93.
coming up with ideas for these kind of competitions. That they're just trying to be innovative and trying to make things that haven't been done before.
No repeats.
I wish I had took notes, because so when I went to my, quote, semifinals in Pittsburgh, like they put you in it was like maybe 10 people and you're all in a room and they divide you into 5s and then you do like a competition there. And I guess that was part of it. They wanted to see how you were in the competition aspect of it. And I wish I could remember what they had us do inside there. But unfortunately, I did not make it past Pittsburgh.
That's their mistake. Their loss. And same with Shannon, too.
Yeah.
I should actually know the Real World because we met I lived in Emeryville. And one of my roommates was friends with was that Real World 2? 1 or 2 when they were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like we hung out. Like
that was the Pedro.
Like Puck and those guys.
Yeah, Puck,
yeah, we met all those guys.
And the girl that's on Fox now.
Right when they were doing it all at the time. I've never been a reality show person, like full stop. But I mean, I understand the appeal of it, but I do remember that period of time and how popular it got. Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. All right, getting you home on this show for the only time today.
Yeah.
And if anything happens, she'll let us know, and we'll tell you during basketball. But here's Cricket.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Cold Road and Escalante. Escalante and Cold Road for some police activity in the area. Please avoid the area of Kolb and Escalante and expect some slowdowns eastbound Grant approaching Columbus due to road work that should wrap up around 5 today. A freeze warning from 3 a.m. till 9 a.m. tomorrow. Temps around 35 is our overnight low. 56 partly cloudy tomorrow and 53 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Skincare is self-care, and with daily beauty steals of 50% off during Ulta Beauty's Love Your Skin event, I can find everything I need to make loving my skin a daily practice, from brands like Osea, Lancome, and Tula. And I can shop weekly skin and wellness deals of 30% off more must-have brands. Plus, see what's new from brands like Bubble and in select stores, Sol de Janeiro and Ulla Henriksen. Hurry, event ends January 20th. Shop in store, online, or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Wildcat fans, join head coach Adia Barnes and the Arizona women's basketball team in McHale Center this season. Single game tickets start as low as $17 and are available for purchase now. You won't want to miss the fierce competition coming to Arizona. Tickets are available at ArizonaWildcats.com/WBK. Arizona women's basketball. Let's pack McHale Center.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Well, it's the first part of a new year, and some people are coming up with some pretty interesting New Year's resolutions.
I'm taking karate classes.
Hey, wait just a minute.
Let's get something really stupid tattooed on our butt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why not make your New Year's resolution to always save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn? You'll not only save up to 40%, but there's also no city or state sales tax at Tobacco Barn because they're on the reservation.
I'm getting married to the first girl I meet. Hey there, sweetheart.
And you can save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Let's try parachuting. Geronimo!
So save up to 40%, save with no city or state sales tax, and save up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. But maybe skip the skydiving. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Back to throw, rolling to the right, being chased, fires on the run. Cowing makes the catch. 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arizona.
Woo! What a big-time play. They caught Cowing on a crosser, and he just accelerated up the sidelines.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The final big play for Jacob Cowing in a Arizona Wildcats uniform. He announced on his Instagram account on Wednesday that he is going to declare for the NFL draft. No surprise there. Jacob Cowing coming over, having two very successful seasons and helping to turn around the Arizona football program. Wildcats winning their final 7 games of the 2023 season, including the Alamo Bowl and a comeback win over Oklahoma to finish the season at 10-3. And when you finish 10-3, your head coach goes national. Jim Rome was the spot today for one Jedd Fisch. Now, if you're familiar with our program, we stream this on a number of video platforms. We are on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Twitter. And so we've got video of what you're about to hear on the radio side as well. This was a question Jim Rome asked Jedd Fisch about his future here at the University of Arizona. Here is what the head coach had to say.
I can point to what you've done since you got there. I can point to your background, and I can point to the way you're coming off right now in a really, really good way. And it would seem to reason this is why when the season was coming to an end, your name was connected to a lot of big-time coaching openings to reassure nervous Arizona fans that you reportedly have not signed a new contract extension yet. Is that something that's going to get done shortly? And is that where you want to be?
Yeah, it is. And I appreciate you asking. I think right now we're just working through semantics to get this deal done. I think we're very, very close. We want to be done here very soon. And we want to be a part of this program for a long time. I've moved a lot in this business to be able to be here today to become a head coach in a Power 5 program, to win 10 games, to be a top 15 team, hopefully a top 10. And we've got 18 out of 22 returning starters next year. So I have no interest in going anywhere. I have a lot of interest in seeing if we can get to that CFP. And there's 12 teams in it next year. And I would love to have our team be part of it.
All right, that is Jedd Fisch today on the Jim Rome Show, breaking some news of his own that a contract extension looks to be in the works, and he right now has no intention of going anywhere else. And when you have that many players coming back with the potential of adding more, why would you want to go anywhere? Run it back again. See what happens next year. We mentioned yesterday they're on the cusp of at least the first mock CFP believes that Arizona will be one of those 12 teams to get into the college football playoff, and then see what happens next year.
Not only do they have a bulk of their starters returning, DK, they're going to a league along with Utah, are going to be the favorites.
Yeah.
Right? So you talked about them being projected potentially to be in the college football playoff next year. The Chicken Littles of the Arizona fan base that just see the success and instantly think, well, he's too good for us. He's going to some other hot girl or whatever that mentality is, right? I think if you look at the situation with 95% of starters returning, 90%, going into a league that Texas and Oklahoma are leaving, right? I mean, the amount of potential success and being that guy, that Lute Olson type figure to build, not to say that obviously they didn't have success under Tomey and other coaches at the U of A, but coming off of that 20-loss streak and saying that you not only turned the program around, but built it into something that could challenge for, potentially getting to the college football. Why would that guy want to leave?
Yeah. Why? Doesn't make sense at all. Chicken Little, I like that. I heard a really good one this morning on morning local television news. In regards to what Tommy Lloyd said yesterday, we were referred to as couch potato coaches.
Yeah, that's why I don't second guess the defensive rotation philosophy of the coaching staff of the University of Arizona.
Kudos to the producer at Channel 13 that wrote that into the script. Couch potato coaches. All right, that's going to wrap up this version of the show. We'll be back. Countdown to tip-off on Wildcats Radio 1290 is next.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce.